In this video, I want to talk about the different places that you should put your cash based on the different income levels that you may find yourself in. I want to go all the way from paycheck to paycheck with no extra money to spare, all the way up to having 1,000 plus extra dollars a month, and what may be an efficient financial plan if you're struggling to know what sort of direction to take with your money. If we haven't met already, my name is Anfernee McLemore. I like to make videos about personal finance, side hustles, and investing, and we're going to split this video up into 4 different levels. Level 1 is going to be those people who are in the paycheck to paycheck realm and have no extra money left over at the end of the month whatsoever. So since we're talking about where you need to be putting your cash in every income level, if you are living paycheck to paycheck and if you have nothing left to spare, then there are a limited number of options that you could take outside of making extra money. But one of those alternatives is to shop around for high interest checking accounts so that the revolving balance that you do keep in your checking account on a month-to-month basis is still earning a little bit of interest at the end of every month. Now, living paycheck to paycheck is not for just those who are living in poverty. Paycheck to paycheck can go to people making upwards of $100 to $1 million a year if they are spending just as much as they're making every month. But the idea with this level 1 method is that whatever amount of money that you are keeping in your account at least has the opportunity to earn interest, whereas otherwise it will be losing money due to inflation each year if you kept it in a low interest checking account. Also, if you're living paycheck to paycheck with nothing left to spare, I would then recommend picking up a side hustle in order to pay off some high interest debt. Most people living paycheck to paycheck have some form of high interest debt, whether that's credit card debt, auto loan debt, personal loan debt, payday loan debt. So as far as this high interest debt goes, you have to find a way to at least free up some of your monthly payment. You have to cancel some subscriptions. You have to free up some cash flow so that you can start making progress financially. The only way to get better is to start by sacrificing or your lifestyle so that you can get a cheaper lifestyle so that you can save more money. And if you're struggling to find some high interest checking accounts, I would say that the first place that you should look is your local credit unions. And if you can't find any there, then look at some online startup banks that typically offer a fairly competitive interest rate compared to other banks. But let's move on to level 2, which has a range of you having $0 left to spare at the end of the month all the way up to 1,000 extra dollars to spare. And if you are in this level 2 range, what you should then be looking for instead of high interest checking accounts would be high interest savings accounts. Now, I personally made a video in the past about the Goldman Sachs Apple Card high yield savings account, which I find a lot of value in, but there are a ton of other high yield savings accounts out there that you can pick from if you want to stay loyal to a particular bank. But the point of the high yield savings account is different from the high yield checking account, because with the high yield savings account, you don't need to be touching this money unless it is an emergency. That's what the term emergency fund is for. With the high yield checking account, you are expected to use that money. You're expected to pay bills out of that money. It is not expected to sit. But the high yield savings account, you want to save it up. You want to stack your money until you have at least $1,000, and then until you have 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. That is the rule of thumb. That is the golden rule to protect you from most rainy days and most major catastrophes. And as I said, I've seen a lot of high yield savings accounts, but the one that I personally know and the one I've grown to love is the Apple Card high yield savings, because it adjusts with the federal savings rate, and also it is very aesthetic to the eyes. I actually recently read an article on the Wall Street Journal talking about how some online banks are scamming their customers. Not necessarily scamming, but for all intents and purposes it is scamming, because when the savings rates go higher or lower, instead of automatically adjusting their customers to that higher or lower savings rate, they are creating a new savings plan with a slightly different name in order to keep their old customers at the historically lower rate and only offer their new customers who open up a new account the brand new interest rate. For example, if when you open an account at one of these banks the savings rate was 4% and then it went up to 4.5%, your savings account may be called high yield savings, but these scamming banks will call the new account for new customers high yield savings plus with the 4.5% and not automatically enroll you into the new savings rate. And for most people who are not diligently checking their interest rates are missing out on this money because they're not keeping up with it, and the banks aren't notifying their old customers because they will have to pay more out in interest. This is not fraudulent, but it does seem immoral. So I would suggest that if you are taking advantage of any high yield savings accounts, that you are diligent and that you are keeping up with the activities of what your bank is doing. But level 3 is when you have 1,000 plus extra dollars per month to save or go towards your financial future. So in this area recently in particular, I have sort of changed my mindset of what you should do. Beforehand, I used to think that you should go right into your Roth IRA. You should go right into investing as early as possible with no exceptions. However, recently, maybe naively, I have learned the value of actually enjoying your life while you live it. You never know exactly how long you're going to be on this pale blue dot. So my recommendation, how I treat my personal finances, that instead of going right into your Roth IRA at this level, you should then start saving for some short-term goals. Whether that's a summer vacation, whether that's a holiday, whether that's Christmas, any short-term goal that will provide fulfillment to your life, that will continue to make you happy, that won't absolutely break the bank, should be saved for in this stage. I don't think that most people, if they don't have a fully funded emergency fund, should be dropping $10,000 to $15,000 on a vacation. But for the people who have been diligent for the months that it took to save this emergency fund, yes, I do believe that it is okay and that it is encouraged to treat yourself at times. I am a little bit different from Dave Ramsey in the fact that I don't believe that you should be living on beans and rice until you have all your debt paid off. I think that there is a very miserable way to live, and if you only do that, then yes, you may be debt free by the time you're 40, but you would have also have missed out on some of the healthiest and most fun years of your life. So there is a balance in this scenario where I would encourage you to have fun, but also be financially responsible, as well as I believe that you are since you're watching this video. But moving on to level 4, once you have saved for your short-term goals, what you then want to do is start investing for the long term. This is the point where you want to start opening up Roth IRAs. You want to start opening up brokerage accounts and investing in your 401k heavily. At this point, you should be really considering what your retirement plans are. Do you want to retire at 40, at 50, at 60, or do you plan on getting Social Security at the age of 70 and not having to worry about any of it? My recommendation here is to start educating yourself really heavily about what retirement means for you. For most people, they think that retirement means not working. But I have read enough books and enough articles of people who actually are retired to know that that type of lifestyle is incredibly unfulfilling. You may think that all you want to do is have enough money to where you don't have to get up and work, you don't have to do anything, you can just lay in the house all day and do nothing. But from the people that I have learned about that actually have tried doing that, living the rest of their lives on the beaches of Mexico or Turks and Caicos, they have said that that type of lifestyle gets really boring really quickly. As a human, you have an inherent desire to want to build something, to want to be productive, to want to do something that is meaningful to you. And I guarantee you that if you can make enough money doing that thing for you, not to work, then you will be doing that regardless. So when I think about my personal retirement plans, I would like to make enough money to where I can pursue my passion, what I believe is my chief aim in life, without worrying about any sort of income. And I think that I'll be fortunate enough to be able to monetize that passion to the point where I don't have to work regardless. So at the end of the day, for you, retirement could mean continue working, but it may include taking a pay cut. It may include not getting paid at all. And whatever you are considering your retirement life to be, you want to start planning for that now, so that once you get there and once you really start to want to retire, that you are not playing catch up from the years and years and years of you not putting your financial future in mind. So that's all I have for you in this video. If you found any kind of value in this video, then make sure you tap the like button for your boy, and also hit that subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this. If you do want to see more videos like this, thank you, and I will see you in the next one, guys.